I'm back here in the garage with the BMW, the electrified BMW. Let's plug in the charger, see what happens. Because it was acting weird when I did it before. We're drawing 12 amps. Now we can see each cell. Each one of those green things down there is a cell. And yeah, almost 3.8 average, and the highest and the lowest is quite a difference there. So I'm hoping that it will balance them, because I just set it up now. Before it wasn't balancing because they started balancing at 4.13. Now I set it to balance at 3.95, I think I set it to. So let's see what happens when we reach that. Then they should start balancing the cells. 3.95, one of the cells are there. And it's balancing, you can see it's blinking. I'm guessing that's because balance is going on and off, on and off. Probably gonna be on all the time when we get there. Now we're almost at the average voltage where the balancing starts, so we have quite a few cells that have started balancing here. The lowest one still has quite a bit to go, but the highest one is already at 4 volts almost. It's still charging with full speed. Now we're here at almost 4 volts per cell, but they're all balancing. So I thought that this charger worked differently. It was only charging the top ones, but it's draining balancing all of them. So this is not very good. It doesn't help the situation. So I need to put them at 4. I need to change in the settings that it doesn't. It's only balancing those above 4, because it doesn't make sense to have them balance at 3.9, because then if they're all running the same time, it's not helping anything. So I'm gonna change that setting right now. Alright, I turned off the charging. Now this thing is just idle. Now you can hold in and you can go into setup. BMS minimum voltage, maximum voltage. Here, balance voltage. So we'll set this to 4. So we see it's only one that's being balanced. How are we with speed? We're still going full speed. We still have 1 more volt to go. Or I mean, we're at 95 and it's gonna go to 96 before it's... Now the balancer is behaving a lot better. Now it's just balancing those that are above 4. Soon they all will be above 4, because the lowest is 39199, so... And then they'll all start balancing. But we are not gonna rise... yeah, the charge is going down. It's at 2.1 kilowatts, it was like 25 amps maximum, so we're at 9.96 volts, so that's where it should stop. We're also charging the 12 volt system, so it's at 12, it's starting to get full. I think I'll push it to like 12.2 maybe, and then I turn it off, because it drops when you turn it off. So we're getting somewhere here. Now the balancing is doing what it should be doing. Trying to keep the cells below 4. I'm gonna use a temporary charger for the 12 volt battery until I've got a DC-DC working, because right now I'm using normal car chargers which give too high voltage. You need to be careful and you need to turn them off and don't leave them on, and that's like a bit sketchy. So I thought I would use this. It's a power supply for a computer, and as you can see here, it can give 41 amps 12 volts. So it can charge, it should be able to charge a battery at 40 amps at 12 volts, which is pretty good. So I'm just thinking that I'm gonna plug this in. I don't know what happens if you exceed 41 amps, if it shuts down, if the fuse goes, or if it just throttles down and doesn't go over. But I'm gonna attempt to plug it into the 12 volt battery. I'll see what happens. Right now it's giving 11.9 volts, this power supply, which is like exactly the voltage I'm looking for. I want to go for like 12, and because I don't have a BMS and I don't want to charge its batteries more than 4 per cell anyway. So I'm gonna plug this in to this battery here. I'm gonna see what happens. I just plugged it in on the terminals here, the plus and the minus, and we're pulling 3 amps. And it was like at 11.6 volts in total, so it's almost fully charged, so it's not charging a lot. But now I have a safe way to charge the battery, and I can leave it there for quite some time, and it will just give less amps the closer it gets to 12. Now I don't need to worry. And if I plug in the fuse, for example, we'll see the amps go up. There are 3. There we go. Now it's pulling a bit more. So it kind of is compensating for the drainage we have on the car. If we start everything up, just put a load, turn on the fan. The voltage dropped quite a bit here, 10.9. Let's see how much it's supplying right now. It's just supplying like 5 amps. Wow. I'm guessing the battery is supplying the most of the current then. Also, another problem. These wires are not very thick. But at least it's better to charge that way. Okay, let's turn off the fan. Would probably charge faster if I had thicker wires, but then I need to probably open this case and modify it. I'm not sure I want to do that yet. But for now, this is good enough. I don't need to worry as much about the charging of those batteries.